Back here in Atlanta, and the Falcons are ready to kick off week number 1. I'm Shannon Spake, and there are so many storylines heading into today's game, but certainly one that all eyes will be on is that wide receiver position. Of course, the all-pro Michael Thomas for the Saints coming back. He hasn't played in a game since the end of 2020 because of that ankle surgery. And for the Falcons, the rookie Drake London, he injured that knee in preseason game number 1, and we haven't seen him since. Both are going to play today. Both looked great in warm-ups, and when I talked to Michael Thomas about this moment and how long he has waited, he told me he slept about as good as a kid waiting for Christmas morning last night. I'm sure the Saints fans feel the exact same way to see number 13 back out there, Kenny.
Thanks, Shannon. Great to have you with us for this 2022 NFL season. Feels like the first day of school.
It really does. The energy's here. The fans are excited. We're excited. You have two really good teams where they're kind of under the radar, right? The rest of America kind of written them off, and it looks like they could have really good seasons. There's Dennis Allen, new head coach.
Second stint as a head coach.
This looks a lot more calm, right?
Last 7 seasons as Sean Payton's defensive coordinator, and there's Arthur Smith in his second season, record of 7-10. With the Falcons last year. Saints have won the toss. They defer. Arthur Smith chatting with his new quarterback. Look around the division, Jonathan. Of course, in Tampa Bay, Tom Brady retired and then came back. New head coach in New Orleans, although most of the staff still there. The names, and there's Baker Mayfield, the new quarterback in Carolina.
Yeah, congrats to Baker earning that starting position. Here's Michael Thomas's timeline. Second round draft pick. Had a chip on his shoulder. Kenny from there thought he should have been a first rounder, and you know, it was all she wrote from there, right?
NFL record, 149 receptions.
Offensive Player of the Year in 2019, and he misses some games in 2020, missed all of 2021. Ready to get back and show everybody how awesome he is.
Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota have been linked since their collegiate days. They won the Heisman in back-to-back years. Faced each other in the 2015 Rose Bowl. It was Winston's only collegiate loss. And then their only prior matchup in the NFL. Their first career starts back in 2015, week 1 with Tampa Bay and Tennessee.
Yeah, Mariota got the best of them in that one, had a phenomenal game.
They were the only Heisman winners drafted 1 and 2 in the same draft, and they even trained together prior to the Combine. Take you back to that Rose Bowl, 2015. Mariota and the Oregon Ducks, 59-20 over the Florida State Seminoles.
There was so much firepower for the Oregon Ducks. Marcus Mariota ran that run-pass option and the zone read to perfection that game. I remember it clearly. Only loss of James's career in college.
We had a lot of respect for one another. Both told us they still root for the other.
Yeah.
Except for today, of course.
Yeah, of course. But you could tell it was genuine, the way that they really admire each other.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 98.
Patterson is close to a first down. We take you back to that opening game. 2015 season, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tennessee Titans, and Mariota and the Titans came away victorious.
Yeah, Mariota had a really good game. Jameis Winston not so much. And it's interesting how quickly things turn for both quarterbacks.
Mariota told us it's surreal to be starting again.
Yeah.
First time since 2019. He learned so much while backing up both Ryan Tannehill and Derek Carr. Tyrone Matthew, we head to Los Angeles for a game break. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Well, Jonathan, it's not a twirly twirl, but it is impressive. 4th and 1. Jalen Hurts does what he does. Rushing touchdown. He led all quarterbacks with 10 rushing touchdowns last season. Gets his first one here. We're all tied at 7. Kenny?
Get the ball back. Fans of both teams fired up here in Atlanta. Falcons leading by 3.
Cordero Patterson made a living off this last year. Look at how he slashes. He presses a hole, gets downhill, and then he punishes Every defender he faces, he punishes them right here, capping it off, running over Pete Warner into the end zone. Had the most scrimmage yards of his career last year, the most touchdowns. He is a force back there at the running back position.
As we check in with Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Niners-Bears scoreless in the second. The Trey Lance era has begun. He hands it off to Deebo Samuel. Definitely going to be his best friend here. Niners up 7-0 in this one. Kenny?
Half here in Atlanta. Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, kickoff weekend. What's impressed you the most? Is it the Falcons' defense?
It really has been the defense. The Falcons' defense, they were physical in those preseason games. I remember watching the film and saying, wow, that really stood out to me, the intensity, the effort, and they have shown that coming into this game, they have really taken it to the Saints offense.
A couple of sacks on that last possession.
Yes, and it's led by Grady Jarrett, their best player. Shows up every day. DMP's raved about him, said he's just as good as any of the Hall of Famers that he's coached in his Patriots and Ravens days.
Hard line. What's coming up at halftime?
With the new season, many teams are beginning rebuilds. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Show, we'll have highlights of the Dolphins, Steelers, and Panthers. Make sure you join me, Terry Howie, and these two guys. We'll see you at the half.
There's a look at the new digs out west.
Looks pretty good.
Falcons leading by 9. As the teams head to their respective locker room. Dennis Allen's Saints will get the ball first in the second half.
And it's Young Wei Koo again. We said ice in his veins, takes his time, right down the middle, money. You know, these kickers now, they're really becoming more and more valuable as these games are won or lost by 3 points more frequently. And I know the Falcons are great to have, or very happy to have him on his team, on their team.
16-7 lead for the Atlanta Falcons over the New Orleans Saints. Our first half stats brought to you by Geico. A look at the passing yards, and that takes into account the yards lost on sacks.
Yes, it does, but still, all offseason it was about Olave, first-round pick, Landry, Michael Thomas coming back. Haven't seen it so far.
9-point lead for the hometown Falcons. Time now for the Verizon half. Today's game flow brought to you by Progressive, with the Falcons leading the Saints 16-7. Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, Shannon Spake. We begin the second half. Saints will start from their 25-yard line, trailing the Falcons by 9. We talked about the impressive job done by the Atlanta defense in the first 2 quarters.
The Atlanta defense and the pressure that they're getting, not just from Grady Jarrett, but from the safeties, Richie Grant getting in there. They have created all kinds of havoc for the Saints offense. And then flip it to the other side, Cordero Patterson. The Saints are going to have to bring Marcus May down in the box to stop that run and man up on the outside.
Alvin Kamara as we check in with Shannon.
Well, you probably could figure this out. Dennis Allen, pretty much top to bottom, they need to improve in this second. He said we need to stop the run. We need to improve time of possession. We need to get into a rhythm. I did ask him about getting those wide receivers open. He said we need to run the ball. Now, as far as the Falcons, Arthur Smith did not hesitate. He said we're winning the line of scrimmage. Grady Jarrett, guys, after that third sack on Jameis Winston, he was on the bench screaming to these fans. This defense is hyped, and they're going to ride it in this second.
With Marcus Mariota making his first start for the Falcons under second-year head coach Arthur Smith. Dennis Allen in his first year with the Saints. 10 new head coaches around the league this season.
That is a lot, and you see a lot of the turnover. And what I like about these new coaches, it's almost like they're a little bit opposite of what the previous regime was, right? And you want to try to go and find that balance where you don't want too far of an extreme. So hopefully they have a lot of success.
A 59-yard punt. Falcons get the ball back, leading by 13. Start Saturday strong with the big noon Saturday game of the week. Number 6 Oklahoma battles Nebraska, followed by number 12 BYU and Oregon. Then in prime time, third-ranked Ohio State will host Toledo at the Horseshoe. 7 Eastern, all on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Yeah, and this past weekend was great. We had plenty of upsets. App State beating Texas A&M.
Caleb McGarry. Shannon.
Kenny, let me give you a sense of what I'm seeing with these two defenses. The emotions are just so drastic. Of course, you've seen the excitement and the energy from the Falcons. The Saints completely different. The no panic, completely calm over here on the sideline. How many times have you heard Cam Jordan say, we have faith in this group? And Vilma, I'm wondering, you've been part of some great teams, some great defenses. What's the value of staying calm even when things are not going your way?
It allows you to think, and it allows you to be able to go out there and still understand what the opponent is trying to attack you, how they're trying to attack you.
Takes it to the 34, Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Bears trailing 10-0. Justin Fields looking. Pulls out using his feet. Finds Dante Pettis, wide open for this 51-yard score. His first completion to a wide receiver all day long. Bears only down by 3.
Going over 100. The Saints had the longest active streak of not allowing a 100-yard rusher. It was 20 games and counting. As you see it there, and now it's been snapped unless they figure out how to, get a couple tackles for loss. But Cordero Patterson, he's doing something that no man has done in a while against the Saints.
Action with Drake London. Shannon.
What an emotional day for Michael Thomas, getting back out on the field for the first time since 2020, guys. I told you before the game started that he said it was like Christmas morning for him, and a lot made of the fact that Jameis Winston and Thomas didn't get a whole lot of reps in the preseason. But Jameis said when you have an elite receiver like Michael Thomas, just get him the ball. He still has that football in his hand over on the sideline. I bet that baby's going home with him.
Well, coming up, second game of our Fox doubleheader. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers in Minneapolis. Another divisional matchup. Packers-Vikings. Some of you will see the Giants and Titans. Kevin O'Connell, the new head coach in Minnesota. Great football mind. Spent some time backing up Tom Brady around Bill Belichick. Kirk Cousins, his quarterback, head-to-head. Pretty even over the last 4 seasons.
Interesting how the narrative is, right? Aaron Rodgers, one of the best. Kirk Cousins fails in the big moments. Pretty equal statistically.
But it was blocked. And the Saints win the season opener in dramatic come-from-behind fashion. Trailed by 16 points in the fourth quarter. They win it 27-26.
Naturally, Younghoe Koo is going to have to hit it low to try and drive the football. You see everybody getting in. Marcus Davenport. Looks like Zach Braun might have gone in as well. Dennis Allen gets his first victory as a Saints head coach.
Wild one here in Atlanta for Jonathan Vilma, Shannon Spake, and our entire crew. I'm Kenny Albert to Los Angeles State Farm Game Break.